Now listen, you have one of those faces that everybody thinks they know. Where do we know you from?
Well, I've had the pleasure of doing a number of things on television.
Yeah.
Probably the most well-known one would be my 2 years I spent doing Spartacus.
That would have been fun. I think we have a shot actually. Let's see, have we got a shot of Greg?
Yeah, well, but you can see how much they relished having me on the show.
That could be anybody.
I know.
That is you.
I know, that's definitely me.
That is you.
It's me. I mean, having my face obscured was something I wasn't particularly happy about, but I had a colleague who said, no, Greg, you've got to look at it in a different way. He says, you've got to say, Greg Ward plays Mercato, the man behind the sword.
Yeah, love it, love it. We have got a proper one. Let's see one next to John Hannah. There he is.
Ah, yep, there
Fabulous,
we go. There we go.
Fabulous. Now listen, apart from all this exciting stuff that you've done on TV, you also have a job that most people would hate, which is?
Well, I work as a professional MC, one of a very small handful of MCs in New Zealand who do this for a full-time living, and I love what I do. Yeah. Absolutely love it.
You see, most people would be like, oh no, I've been asked to MC a wedding or something like that. What kind of tips could you give for somebody who is nervous about doing it and they're trying to learn from the professionals?
Well, the majority of people when they are asked to be an MC immediately put it on themselves and that they have to be funny, they've got to come up with jokes, they've got to be the centre of attention. For something like a wedding, or well, for any place where you need an MC, it's never about the MC. It's about making the event or the people that you're working with the stars. And when you turn that focus around and put it externally, things become a heck of a lot easier for you.
Yeah, okay. And how long have you been MCing?
15 years I've been doing this professionally.
And how did you get into it?
Well, I was employed to do some roustabout entertainment at Sky City. I've come from a background of being a performer and actor. Yeah. And I did this role, and the person who'd hired me said, you might be quite good at being an MC. Yeah. And I said, what's an MC? Yeah. So she said, well, come with us and we'll show you. And I ended up working with Sky City for around about 5 years, contracting to them every Friday and Saturday night, Wednesday nights, ended up running promotions on the gaming floor. And the role was to introduce bands, take bands off, tell people what was going on. And I made a pact with myself that I would have something new to say every single night that I went out. And it might be only 4 words or a line, but it was something that I could add and feel comfortable in front of an audience. Yeah. And that process enabled me to be able to stand up in front of any audience and talk. Yeah.
It's one of those things that there's kind of a hidden skill set, isn't there?
There is. An MC is a fireman, a politician, psychologist, timekeeper, so many different aspects that you have to have available to you depending on the circumstances. Yeah. I love the variety of that job and the fact that there's a great deal of versatility that goes into it.
So how do you get good at it?
Practice.
Yeah.
Like anything, if you want to be good at something, you have to do it. If you want to write, you must write. If you want to dance, you've got to dance. And if you want to be a good MC, then you have to be an MC. You've got to get up and do the job.
Yeah, I suppose for most people, if they are asked to do it once, they only get to do it once.
Yeah, that's the challenge that comes in. And that's where I think getting good advice and taking every opportunity you can to learn about being an MC is really important if you are being placed in those positions.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of improv and that kind of thing. How has that helped you?
Hugely. Improvisation is all about being able to stand up and deliver. And often when you're feeling very uncomfortable about the situation, by training in improvisation, you're setting yourself up in a position before you have to go out and do it for real. Right. When you stand up on a stage, those skills of improvisation come back to you. Right. Very, very worthwhile set of skills to have.
And how many gigs are you doing a year? You're all over the place, aren't you?
I am. I have the pleasure of working here in New Zealand, Australia, and the last few years it's been global. So I've had some great jobs up in Europe and South America, Asia as well. I'm averaging around about 85 events a year, and that could be anything from a single night awards event or a hoax presentation, which is another aspect of my business, or it might be a 3-day conference.
So tell us about a hoax presentation.
Well,
you had a cheeky little smile when you said a hoax presentation.
I started doing hoaxes around about 3 years ago, professionally. This is where I turn up as a character, and the general character I use is a German, and I will take on the guise of an expert in the field of whichever client I'm working for, but from a European perspective.
Right.
And then I'll come in, I'll do anything from a 25-minute to 45-minute keynote, and it slowly goes awry and off the track as the case goes on.
So you turn up at a conference,
Yeah.
you do a very kind of credible, authoritative keynote in a
Correct.
German accent, and it's all nonsense.
Funny enough, it's not all nonsense. The information's in there. Any technical information relating to the industry that I'm working for or the group I'm working for is absolutely accurate.
Wow.
And it has to be accurate. Takes me roughly a week of time, spaced out over a number of weeks, to do the research for each of these.
Wow.
But the character itself, or himself, has a lot of foibles, and they come to the fore. So you're mixing the real information with the elements of this character and his personal life.
And does this character have a name?
He changes for every single event.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that we are so internet connected now that
Yeah,
it's very
you get
easy
busted.
to jump on there and
So
do a name.
can you give us a burst of one of your characters?
I can. So this, we call him Gerhard Schlimmer.
Ooh.
And this would be, very good afternoon, my name is Gerhard, and I'm from the Ministry of Federal Affairs in Germany, and I'm here with you today to talk to you around about the issues of transformational change. For it is very important that we change, sometimes within ourselves and also externally, and sometimes it is not easy to change. People run from change, and some people embrace it. And some people
hilarious.
embrace it more than others.
He looks completely different, doesn't he? I'm looking at him going, that's brilliant. And then how do people take it when you kind of go, surprise?
Uniformly, it's thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
Over the course of the length of that presentation, I will have given enough key points away
Yeah.
that the majority of the people in the audience will have already twigged that this is a not particularly kosher example of a presentation. But if you do get to the end, then you do have people who will come up with a kind of look on their face to say, you got me. But it's all in very good fun.
Well, it sounds like your job is a lot of fun.
It is. I do believe I have the best job in the world.
Yeah, well, hey, it sounds amazing, and keep doing it because you do a great job. Greg Ward, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks very much.